At the Hua lineage, young Master Hua was arranging troops and firepower for the final battle against Wufeng. The weapon Mountain Crusher, which he developed with Gong Zishang, was soon to be deployed. He knew that he had always been looked down upon by his father due to his poor comprehension. This time, in the decisive battle against Wufeng, he swore to make his father proud. Jin Fan escorted Gong Zishang to the Moon lineage for safety, saying it was Gong Ziyu's order and that he was to guard her personally. Gong Zishang was very pleased, feeling her brother's care was well placed. Gong Ziyu brought a new hidden weapon pouch to Gong Yuanzheng, saying it was made by young Master Hua, and he had only added a silk pouch. Gong Yuanzheng's impression of Gong Ziyu had changed for the better. He even poured hot tea to serve him, only to find Gong Ziyu had already left. The plan Yin Weishan sent revealed that Wufeng would act in 5 days, the same day as Gong Ziyu's sword wielder inauguration. Of the 4 Wang, only the southern Wang, Sido Hong, had not arrived at Old Dust Valley. The other 3, Dongfang's Bei Su, Beifang's Hani Ku, and Shifang's Machi AI, had already arrived and would launch a 3-pronged attack targeting the Boundless Fiery Stream. Machi AI would lead the first front to assault the Zhu lineage while Gong Shangjue's internal energy was weak, aiming to take it swiftly. Yin Weishan suggested Gong Yuanzheng deal with him. The second front, Hani Ku, was not afraid of the snow-blowing 3 techniques targeting the snow lineage. The third, Bei Su, would head straight for the Hua lineage. He was the strongest and tasked with seizing the blueprint of the Boundless Fiery Stream. Zi proposed that since Gong Ziyu would choose a new bride at the inauguration, Wufeng could send 7 Qi assassins to intercept the bride, drawing his attention. Yin Weishan was also listed among them. Gong Ziyu was already prepared. He not only deployed heavy troops and targeted defenses, but also hid the Boundless Fiery Stream blueprint beneath the cold pool, a place Wufeng would never suspect. Shui Zhongzi and young Master Shui abandoned the Snow lineage and fled to the Moon lineage. At the moment of the life-or-death battle, during Gong Ziyu's inauguration as sword wielder, Yin Weishan was once again sent into the Gong residence as the bride. Alongside her came Zi from Wanhua Pavilion, who was actually Wufeng's southern Wang, Sido Hong. It turned out that they never truly trusted Yin Weishan, and the plan they told her was a diversion. Machi AI went to attack Shui Zhongzi and young Master Shui, while Haniku's real target was the Zhu lineage. Only Bei Su's mission remained unchanged, heading to the Hua lineage. Haniku was the enemy who had killed Gong Shangjue's mother and brother Lang years ago. Seeing his enemy again filled Gong Shangjue with rage. He and Gong Yuanzheng teamed up to attack Haniku. Only then did Haniku realize that the information provided by Shangwan Qian was wrong. Gong Shangjue had not lost his internal energy. Everything Gong Shangjue had done was a ruse to lure the enemy deep. Mountain Crusher was unleashed, blasting the bride assassins one by one. Situ Hong was extremely powerful. Yin Weishan was injured and fell, and Gong Ziyu was poisoned by her goo. Just as she was about to kill them both, Han Yasi suddenly appeared to shield them. For Yin Weishan's sake, Han Yasi changed his beliefs. In the end, he used Mountain Crusher to shoot and kill Sidu Hong, but was also killed by her. Yin Weishan supported Gong Ziyu and fled to the back mountain. Seeing that Han Yasi had died to save her, she was overwhelmed with grief. Elder Yu used his energy to suppress the goo in Gong Ziyu's body, but it could not be fully removed unless the Cloud Lotus was used or the poison was transferred to another person. Jin Fan went to retrieve the Cloud Lotus, only to find it had already been taken by Shangwan Qian. They fought, and although Jin Fan was no match and was seriously injured, he managed to snatch the Cloud Lotus back. He asked Gong Zishang to quickly deliver it to cure Gong Ziyu. Yin Weishan, in order to save Gong Ziyu, transferred the goo poison to herself. A miracle happened. Just as Gong Ziyu realized it and wanted to reverse the transfer, their internal energies fused and suppressed the goo poison effectively. Shui Zhongzi and young Master Shui teamed up to fight Machi AI. To protect Shui Zhongzi, young Master Shui was killed by Machi AI. Shui Zhongzi used all his strength to kill Machi AI and avenge him. Han Yiqi tried to help Shangwan Qian, but was killed in the process. Before he died, he called out her name, hoping she might stay for him. Shangwan Qian tried to save him, but it was all in vain. Bei Su arrived at the Hua lineage and found that the blueprint of the Boundless Fiery Stream was missing. He threatened young Master Hua to hand it over. Elder Hua tried to save his son, but was gravely injured by Bei Su. Young Master Hua was devastated. Before dying, Elder Hua told his son that in his heart, he had always been proud of him. The gravely wounded Jin Fan was brought back to the front mountain by Gong Zishang, along with the Chuyin Chonglian. Gong Ziyu looked at Jin Fan, wanted to give him the Chuyin Chonglian, but was stopped by Gong Zishang. She told Gong Ziyu that this was something Jin Fan had traded his life for, and he would prefer for Gong Ziyu to use it. Gong Ziyu stated that although Jin Fan was his bodyguard, after all these years together, he had already regarded him as family. His life was just as important as his own, and since his wounds had clearly improved, Gong Zishang finally agreed to give the Chuyun Chonglian to Jin Fan. Young Master Hua, facing a powerful enemy, had already prepared for the worst. He shut the cave door and ignited the explosives, perishing along with Bei Su. Meanwhile, Gong Shangjue and Gong Yuanjing joined forces to kill Han Shanka. Although they had avenged a deep hatred, Gong Shangjue was gravely injured. Gong Ziyu, though victorious, could not feel joy. The death of his loved ones cast a shadow over his heart, and he felt an even greater sense of responsibility. A bodyguard brought a sword to Gong Ziyu, saying it was entrusted by young Master Hua. Gong Ziyu knew it was the Yun Jiyu and gave it to Yun Weishan, telling her to protect herself well from now on and never again wield a sword that harms both others and oneself. The poison in Gong Ziyu's body had not been fully expelled, and Gong Zishang was very worried. Gong Ziyu explained that if he hadn't claimed his injuries were improving earlier, she would never have given the Chuyun Chonglian to Jin Fan. Elder Yu observed that although the poison remained, Gong Ziyu was showing clear signs of recovery, which puzzled him. Gong Ziyu explained that his and Yun Weishan's cultivation techniques had fused, suppressing the poison. Elder Shui asked what cultivation method Yun Weishan used. Upon hearing it was the Yun Jin Xian Jing of the Qingfeng sect, he asked her to demonstrate it. From her moves, Elder Shui saw she was using the 3 wind styles. Back then, the rear mountain had 4 sects: wind, flower, snow, and moon. The wind sect focused on defense and played a supporting role, while the other 3 specialized in attack. Their techniques could be integrated. Wind could be combined with the other 3 sword styles, forming the wind flower, wind snow, and wind moon styles, which were twice as powerful. Since the poison in Gong Ziyu was not fully removed, Gong Yuanzheng brought another Chuyun Chonglian, saying it was from Gong Shangjue. He merely delivered the box. From afar, Gong Shangjue smiled knowingly, warming Gong Ziyu's heart. When everyone arrived at the Snow Palace to retrieve the boundless Liuhua blueprints hidden in the cold pond, they found them missing. Gong Ziyu had already guessed who took them and went to the underground chamber where Gong Huanyu was, accusing him of the theft. Gong Ziyu had coated the box containing the blueprints with phosphorus. Anyone who touched it would have glowing green hands. Exposed, Gong Huanyu no longer hid the truth and confessed his entire plan. Years ago, his parents were killed by members of Wufeng, and he was adopted by the former sword wielder. He trained diligently and became the young master, aiming to take the sword wielder's position and activate the Liuhua to destroy Wufeng. But the old sword wielder saw through his ambition and intended to pass the title to Gong Shangjue. Not wanting his revenge to fail, Gong Huanyu used Chuyun Chonglian to save Steward Jia's child and gave the old sword wielder a fake herbal extract. He then faked his own death and used Miss Zheng to fabricate the rumor about the boundless Liuhua, luring Gong Shangjue away from the Gong residence. This allowed Gong Ziyu, who posed no threat, to inherit the position hastily. Ming Wuji was coerced into helping him, but still fell victim to his poison. The internal strife between Gong Ziyu and Gong Shangjue had allowed Gong Huanyu's plan to unfold step by step. However, Gong Zishang discovered his birthmark and realized he had killed Ming Wuji. He then staged an explosion to eliminate Gong Zishang and frame Gong Yuanzheng. Just when he thought his plan was flawless, it was his own younger brother, whom he had considered useless, who exposed it. But none of that mattered anymore. He had regained his inner power, and no one present could stop him. If you love the story, subscribe for the next episode.